Like, there's a million ways to contribute to like a subculture, and so like I think that's the most important part of being a part of it, is like helping build it and make it something more. So I think kids are doing that in Bloomington. I think it's tight. So.
I guess if this is God's house, yeah. We're going fucking strike!
Cool. What's up? I'm Chance Allen. I play in the band's Full Stride. I sing in that band. I sing in What Counts, and I play bass in Velocity. I run the tape label, RTR Tapes, and me and a handful of other people throw all the shows here in Bloomington, Indiana, all the hardcore shows. So, yeah.
What's called Hardcore Heaven?
Jivebomb and In Love separately, and Fading Signal all played Flyover in Tulsa this week. And I know Ethan from Jivebomb, and them and Fading Signal wanted to do a run together on the way home from Flyover, and so they hit me up for it. And then separately, Ilya from In Love hit me up wanting the same exact thing, just like a show on the way home. It just so happened to like be good timing with like the Full Stride, the new Full Stride EP came out last week, and I was like, oh, we'll just do it. Like, I'm not like a big like release show guy, you know, but I'll be like, it'll be our first show at Tapes, you know. And then My Big Hot Wife is just like the young go-hards from Indianapolis, so I love putting them on hype shows. I like the band itself, but also like they're all just cool. I didn't just want Full Stride on. I was like, I need another local. Kids are coming out to shows. Kids are starting bands. Like there's like literal high schoolers starting bands that sound like the Rival Mob. You know, like that's tight. And like all because like they went to like a DIY show and then like followed a bunch of like 20-year-olds and then saw the 20-year-olds posting these songs on their Instagram, and I don't know. I think it's cool. So.
What's going on? My name's Trenton. I write a zine called Genuine Acceptance. It's about hardcore in the Midwest and wherever else I want it to be. I interview bands. I I do scene reports and whatever else I think is cool. I drove over here to see to Bloomington to see some fellow Ohio bands and finally see Fading Signal. You should check them out. They're awesome. The scene over here is awesome. It's a lot of young kids moshing real hard. It's packed out rooms. Pretty cool.
My name is Raziel. As for hardcore in general, my first true hardcore show was in 2022 when Chance organized the revival of Bloomington hardcore with the birth of Volstride, the introduction of Inner Peace, and a good few other bands, including Hellbender, who fucking rip and should totally attend Flyover next time. Point of the matter is that Bloomington, thanks to Chance, has had a massive revival of hardcore, and it shows.
My name is Ilya. I do Columbus hardcore, and I play in a bunch of bands.
I'm Nate. I also play in a bunch of bands, and I also book some shows with Columbus Hardcore.
Tour has been really cool. Sincerely, it's very nice that when I first started touring probably, or like doing runs probably like a decade or so ago, playing to like 20 people was a win. And this last tour, pretty much every day, even the fest, like playing to 100 plus, 200 people. And I think that's rewarding, and it just shows how much the Midwest has kind of started unifying in a lot of ways.
I think it's also a thing where this is the tour where everywhere we've gone, we've seen DGR and Ohio band shirts, which is really, really dope. It's easily the best tour we've ever done, reaction wise, engagement wise, in terms of people fucking with what we're doing. And Ohio dominated at Flyover, and it's just awesome to see it win.
Without question, too, the biggest thing that I got out of this tour in comparison to anything else we've done is that people are genuinely excited for not only what DGR's doing, but what Ohio's doing, and also what Springfield's doing, what Indiana's doing.
Midwest across the board.
Yeah, and that's, even pre-pandemic 2019, that was not the case whatsoever. And now we're truly seeing I think 2024 is probably going to be the year for the Midwest to really come back into the spotlight for hardcore.
Hardcore renaissance.
Yeah.
It's one of those things too where it's the Midwest is one of the places where the best thing about hardcore is that it's at its best, it should be locally oriented. And in the Midwest, you see people who are the most passionate about their local scenes. Bloomington's a great example. Omaha, Nebraska was such a good example.
Yeah.
They had local bands, and every single set popped. 100+ kids come out to this fucking storage locker they leased that they built a stage in so they could throw shows there. And so, like, these Midwest scenes, you see people who are passionate about their scenes, their bands, their shows, and the bands that are coming through because they understand that they come from a local scene like theirs. It's on top, undefeated.
And also, big shout out to Chance, and big shout out to Bloomington, because, you know, this being the first time we've ever been here, and there's 100+ kids here, to see
Local motherfuckers who know the words to Ellen Love songs we've never played here before.
straight up, and seeing Full Stride just like completely the same thing in Indianapolis too, seeing Pat and the Pistons do the same thing, or Prevention doing the same thing with their
Springfield.
scene. Seeing like a local scene genuinely excited and like passionate about a band from their community is like that to me is what hardcore should be completely about.
That's
because
that shit.
like to have a genuine pride and passion about your local community, and for Chance to go up there tonight and be like, I know all of you. Like that's what this is all about, right? This is about creating community, creating like the next generation and the next wave, and getting kids passionate about wanting to keep hardcore going, because at the end of the day, we're gonna age out, but like having people that are like excited to bear the torch and carry it on to the next generation, including all the values and the things that you learn with hardcore. That's
what makes hardcore culture.
Yeah.
Also,
that's
important to shout out Flyover Fest, because as a fest goes, I think that they understand best that getting regional bands that are popping in their local scenes, bringing them somewhere far away and letting them do their thing for a wider audience is much cooler than just getting the same fest circuit bands that play every fest. Like, it's cool to see those bands and it's awesome, but anyone who goes to any of those fests has already seen that band that year. At Flyover, there's a bunch of bands nobody's ever seen there before, because it's in the middle of fucking Oklahoma, and every set pops, and it's diverse, and it's all homies, and everybody knows each other. That's on a microcosmic level, that's like what hardcore should look like. And James and Aaron have their finger on the pulse in a major way, so like they deserve their flowers for that, for sure.
And shout out James especially, because, you know, and the times I've gotten to talk to him in Columbus or Cleveland, he's clearly someone that understands that, you know, when you take a scene that's starting to grow and like people are excited about it, and you're like, let's take one of those bands and put it on this fest, like it means a lot to the people from that community, right? And that speaks to what Nate says, where it's like you can go to a fest and see the same big bands, which there's nothing wrong with. Being excited to go see like an Incendiary or Twitching Tongues or whatever, is like, yeah, they put in the hours and the work. You know,
I'm excited to see that too.
Yeah, but like to go to a fest and Prevention is like the set of the weekend, or Ankle Biters literally got 50 people in a uniform moshing like it's some hardcore military. That is like,
that's what it's about.
That's the stuff that just like, you look around the room and you just see all of our friends just smiling and a big grin on their face. And I think like the interconnectivity of what the Midwest has really started to do, and even like our coastal friends that are coming through now and like part of the team, like that's irreplaceable. You know, you can't touch that feeling. So.
Santina. I'm from Bloomington. I think it's really cool because, like, we're genuinely friends and we actually all care about each other. Like, I just definitely concussed one of my good buddies, but we still, like, hugged, and it was like, I love you, man. I'll see you at the next show. Chance has definitely put us on the map, and, like, youth bands are becoming a thing now. Like, my band is a youth band, and it's just, like, so cool because I have so many, like, cool older people I can look up to and be like, they know what they're fucking doing when I don't. And it's super sick.
I feel like the Midwest is kind of like this in general, but there's just like this applies to Bloomington, but just also a ton of the Midwest. There's like a ton of towns where there wasn't a scene, and like Bloomington has had punk scenes, you know, come and go. There wasn't like just like a history of hardcore here, or a history of hardcore in places like Springfield or Iowa City, just like all these random towns in the Midwest where people are not like joining scenes or like, you know, like riding the wave of like the boom of hardcore right now. Like they're actually like, there's like people putting in work and like building a scene. You know, it's like, you know, like living somewhere where there's already a scene is tight, but also just like, I think it's special when you live in like a place like Bloomington or it's like 100,000 people or less. There's been punk scenes and like, you know, stuff here before, but not like, there's never been like straight edge bands from here really, at least not since the 90s. You know, like I think like shows are huge right now because like during the pandemic people couldn't do shit, and then like people found Turnstile and got into hardcore, which is cool, which is fine, but like I think there's a lot of like live music enjoyers a lot of the time, and you know that's the case here too, or everywhere, but like I think it's cool that like there's a few people like building something out of nothing, I think, basically. Long-winded answer.
And now, at this point, I would say that we're both too old and too young to talk for this long, so the send-off that you should say at every gig, at every show, at every whatever, start a band, start a scene, do your thing, contribute, hardcore's for the youth. We're going to be old someday, and somebody else should keep it going.
Yeah, and if anybody ever tells you that you have to do hardcore a specific way, tell them to eat your ass, you know what I mean? Like hardcore is whatever you want to make it, and at the end of the day, it's about community. It's about caring about the people around you, and it's about giving everyone an opportunity to have fun, whether it's being creative in a band, but also creative outside of that.
Been so sick the past year, and like there's been a ton of people at shows and stuff, but I think we're at the point now where it's like the people who are sticking around are here, you know, they're starting bands and doing scenes and like contributing to the culture, you know, rather than just like coming to shows. They're like learning how to dance, and they're like doing cool shit, making flyers, you know. If you're in a scene like this, don't be a caboose, you know, like add something to the equation, you know, because there's so few people in a place like this to like create a culture, and if you want to be a part of it, like, you know, like keep you know, having something to say and saying it how you want, and just not being like a live music enjoyer, you know what I mean? Like add, you know, you don't have to start a band, but like add something to it, you know, like mosh for all the bands, like, you know, flyer for your, like hang up flyers for your friends, like make zines, like video shows, take pictures, like anything. Like there's a million ways to contribute to like a subculture, and so like I think that's the most important part of being a part of it, is like helping build it and make it something more. So I think kids are doing that in Bloomington. I think it's tight. So shout out Springfield Hardcore, shout out Columbus Hardcore, DGR, Sunday Drive Records, shout out Ankle Biter, shout out Sign Language. Shout out Indianapolis Hardcore and Fort Wayne Hardcore. That's it. Hell yeah, bro.
Bye.